If you were able to give yourself a grade as to your performance in the Department of Labor's performance during the COVID-19 era, what grade would you give it?
I'm not going to give myself a grade.
Okay, how about your department?
A.
I'm not disputing that you're hearing cases every single day, and quite frankly, those are words, and we're about action at this point. I mean, this has been 2 years, and I can tell you this much. When I get on the phone with my constituents, they see us as united, the Department of Labor and our legislative office. They see us as the government. And I can tell you they're not really happy when myself, Assemblyman Simonson, or Assemblyman McClellan, and I'm sure my fellow legislators will tell you that they're not happy with us when we get on the phone, because they're saying, hey, look, I'm worried about whether I can put food on my table next week. Most New Jerseyans, as you're well aware, live paycheck to paycheck. With rising gas costs, rising food costs, and then waiting weeks upon weeks for unemployment benefits, they're struggling. We have people who are crying on our telephone.
But unfortunately, as I said earlier, 20% of the claimants who come through our doors are not eligible. So if you'd like to propose some kind of system where we pay ineligible workers, let's go.
Listen, I'm not looking, listen, that's snarky. And I'm going to call you on that, Commissioner.
Okay.
I'm going to call you on that because, listen, I don't want anybody to get benefits that they're not due and owed at all. That's not what we're here for. We're talking about the people that paid into a system that are waiting. Well, this is 2 years. This is 2 years. You can give all the statistics that you want. I'm talking about people. I'm talking about constituents. I know Senator Ruiz was talking about constituents, people that are calling her, calling my office, about feeding their families. I don't want people getting paid benefits that they're not owed. That's ridiculous. That's not what we're here to talk about.
Okay.
I want to ask you some questions about the contracted call center that you had. When the department brought the contracted call center on board to help with the volume of incoming calls, where were the employees of the contracted company located?
I don't know.
Do you know whether they were within the state of New Jersey?
I'm sure some of them were.
Do you know if the company employed all New Jersey residents, or were they outside of the state of New Jersey?
Definitely outside of the state as well.
Okay. So let me get this straight. During New Jersey's largest unemployment crisis, at least in my lifetime, the Department of Labor contracted with a call center that did not employ 100% New Jersey residents? Do you agree with me that most people want to see a person? Because I can tell you, my staff has been working around the clock, and 2 weeks ago, I can tell you one of my staffers had to make an appointment with someone at 7 p.m. I, of course, was there to make sure everything was okay, to go through the ID&E process. I mean, again, I just find it odd, and I'm sure my colleagues share in my sentiment, that we as legislators are handling a job that we know is really for the Department of Labor. I love helping my constituents, but this has been 2 years that I know myself and my staff are saying, hey, wait a minute, why are we doing this job? And I'm thankful that I see Senator Lagana shaking his head, and Senator Zwicker, because it's true. I mean, do you think that's fair that legislative offices are working like this in that manner for 2 years?
No.
Again, there were some very real solutions, I believe, that were provided early on, and it doesn't appear that any of those solutions really have been taken to upgrade the system. And I know this is a system that you inherited, but number one, you had time in this position prior to COVID, and here we are now 2 years in, 2 full years into the COVID-19 era, as I'll call it. And there still hasn't been major upgrades to the system that we all agree needs upgrades. Why is that?